Greetings, upstanders. Dr. O here, and obviously, many people are talking about the representatives in Texas leaving to avoid the governor there having a quorum to be able to push this vote to basically redistrict the state. But something that doesn't happen, supposed to happen every 10 years, supposed to happen after the census. But because Governor Abbott is following through what Trump wants to happen, Trump is somebody who always needs to have help in order to get his agenda across in terms of being bailed out, as opposed to just dealing with the voters, dealing with legislation. He needs to force his way and bully his way into everything that he does. And these Democrats are not having it. And not only do I give them respect for what they're doing, but I also give respect to governors like the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, and Hochul in New York, and other places who are welcoming these representatives. And as Hochul said, this is war. And people like Gavin Newsom as well, who've been talking about doing what they need to do in their states as well to expand these maps and have more representatives. This is what needs to be done. People are often talking about what people need to see from Democrats, and people say they need to be seen as fighters, people who are out there doing the work. And this is what that looks like. And some people say, well, this is being no better than the Republicans. And so this is not the case. This is not the case. If Republicans followed any of the rules, then this would not be an issue. And personally, I believe that these blue states should not wait to see if Texas is actually going to do this. They need to expand their maps as it is right now, because Trump is going to pull everything possible out of his playbook in order to either stay in power himself, or make sure that if he does leave, that he's able to install somebody who is going to make sure that they don't prosecute him as well. And we have seen this happen across countries all over the world. And it's disgusting and it's disgraceful. But this is what Trump wants to do, and Democrats should have none of it. And so this idea, well, the if then idea is out, it should be out of the window. And it should have been out of the window a long time ago. These individuals who are part of this Republican Party are not interested in sharing power. They're interested in keeping power in any way, shape, and form. And they want to keep it for as long as possible. And the fact that they would actually look to do this right now, where hundreds, over 100 people have died, including over 20 children, because of flooding in their state in Texas, that happened in large part because of negligence on the part of these leaders at the local, state, and national level. It should be disgusting to the people of Texas. And to be quite honest, the way from the big ugly bill to what's happened with these floods in Texas and other things that are happening across the country in these states, redistricting should not even be a problem. And what I mean by that is that many Republican voters should be so furious about what's happening right now in their states from the lack of leadership from their Republican leaders, that they should not be voting for anybody coming from this party. They should be voting independent. They should be voting Democrat. They should be working with people who actually want to care and service their communities in ways that are going to benefit them. But we are seeing across the country, look at some of these town halls, and people are just going to say, oh no, those are just Democratic plants who are showing up at these town halls. Well, if these Republicans really did have strong support, then people will be showing up at the town halls to support them as well. We're not even seeing that. So even if Texas miraculously was redistricted, even if their plot was to be successful, the voters on the ground there should be mindful enough to know that these Republicans do not represent their interests, and maybe decide to actually go blue for once. The fact of the matter is, some people argue that Texas is not a red state, that it's very much a purple state, but it's because of redistricting that keeps it red. But if people continue to vote for this type of leadership after what happened with the flooding and other challenges that are happening as relates to how women are being dealt with as well, like, what does that really say about the voters? And I understand that there are people who are single issue voters and the like, but basic needs are not being met right now. And they are going to use this time of tragedy to try to redraw district lines to force black and brown representatives out. This is something that Democrats should not stand for, but quite honestly, it's something that no American should stand for. And more people should be speaking out in support of these Democrats who have left their families, left their homes, and able to do this. And Abbott's talking about arresting them and getting rid of them, all these things he can do. But we have a president who does a lot of things that people felt like he's not supposed to be able to do. His presidency has revealed that in this country we don't really have laws in many ways. We just have norms. And Abbott is working in hand with Trump, with DeSantis, and others to shatter those norms. And it's absolutely high time that Democrats fight back in a strong and robust way. And this is one way to do that, to get out there and be upstanders for their community and for their states. And I support them 100%. What do you think? Peace.